So all the way around, double crochet over double crochet, and one inside of the space here. And then you can cut your thread. We're going to proceed with the flowers. So we're going to have a total of 21 rows, and then we're proceeding with the flowers right after. Okay, everyone, so pretty much finished doing all the way around the double crochet and one in the space. And now we're going to do this flower. Even though I already have a tutorial on this, see if I can make it fast enough on here so you don't have to keep clicking on links to go to the other video. Try to lower this here a little bit. So slip stitch knot and 10 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come into your first one. And do a slip stitch. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Come inside of the same circle, and we're going to do 4 more double crochets. So we'll be a total with the 3 chains, 5 double crochets. This is very simple to create, and it makes a beautiful flower. So 1, 2, 3 chain, turn around into, let me see how many I have here, make sure. So I only have 4. We have to do 5, so thank God I looked. So 5 total. And then 1, 2, 3 into the next space. So we turn around into the next space. We're going to do the 5 double crochets again. And next space double crochet, and next space double crochet. So now we have the 2 rows of 5 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to come in inside of this loop again, the circle, and create the same thing as we just finished doing. So we're going to do 5 double crochets, okay, turn around, chain 3, and 5 more double crochets, 1 per space. We need to do this 8 times. So these are our petals, like here. So we did the 5 and chain 3 again, and come back into the circle again and create your 5 double crochets again. Now if you need to rewind a bit and see again, go ahead. So I'm going to continue to do my 8 petals and then come back to you, and we'll do the green because we're going to be applying these now on the rug or tablecloth if you want it. Now you need to push a little bit of your petals so you can have the space to create the 8 petals. So basically just give it a nice little push here like that. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So I was in my last one. Just gonna close up a bit the color here. I know on camera this looks red, but it's not red, it's salmon color. So we do the 3 chains, and where we have the bottom row here, right on the corner, where we started the first double crochet for the 5 double crochets in the bottom, we're going to close it with slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to cut it and slip stitch again, and then just come inside of the circle, not the circle, the chain here, and put your thread through it, because we're going to work on this thread and this is going to cover it. And if you can make a knot, would even be better, just to secure that nothing is going to come apart. Okay everyone, so I'm not going to use the green to do them because I had done it and it looked too greenery, so I changed my mind. That's why it's always good to look ahead. So I'm going to do it with the brown, as you see here. So we come in where the 3 chains are with a single and 2 chains. That's like a double crochet. Inside of the space we're going to create 3 more. So we're going to have a total of 4 double crochets, trying to hide my thread at the same time. So we have 4 double crochets into the next space where we have the chains. Again, 4 double crochets. There is no space in between them. We're going to do this all the way around, 4 double crochets inside of each space, all the way around into the next space again, only where we have the 3 chains separating the flowers. Okay, just like that. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, coming to the end, I'm going to close up on the 3rd space here, because obviously we have a single and 2 chains. Now inside of the same space, I'm going to create here my 2 groups of double crochet with 2 chain separation. So 1, 2, and 3. 2 chain separation, and back into the same space with 3 more double crochet. So we're creating the corner, 2 chain separation, into the next space, 3 double crochet, 2 chain separation, and we're creating the next corner. So we know that the next corner is 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet, and then again 2 chain, going to the next space, create your 3 double crochet. So this is the side, 2 chain again, and create your 3rd corner, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Okay, so now we have the last corner, and then you close in at the 3rd chain and cut your thread, tuck in your loose ends, make a tie, make a knot. Make sure that you do that so you don't lose anything. Okay, and then I'll meet you at the end. So because I've already added some squares on, And I'm going to make my marker here because I already have added, so I cannot keep loss of my where I'm supposed to put it. So as you can see, I have already some squares on there, and that's why we don't do the corners up top, because at the end we do all the squares all the way around. Then we're going to do the finishing of the square of the corners. Okay, we're going to do it all in one shot without cutting thread constantly. Okay, so it's just a way of putting the squares on instead of cutting redoing it and cutting or redoing it. We're doing it all together. So have your squares ready. So I was doing some calculation on mine, and I believe it's 16 I'm supposed to have. I mean, I've done it already with 18, 20, and 21. So I wasn't remembering quite honestly. Okay, so 3 double crochets in the corner of the granny, and then 2 chains. So this is your side. We don't do anything with the side just yet. I'll fix my thread afterwards. I will have to cut it and glue it, hot gun glue a bit of the edge so it doesn't come apart. So again, we're doing 3 double crochet, 2 chain again, and 3 more double crochet. This is still the side, 2 chain. Now we're going to create the corner. Now, only the top part here that we don't create the corners, but here we are, okay, the bottom, because this is where we are attaching our pattern. Now, it doesn't matter where you start to attach. I'm going to attach it here. I have it marked because I've already started the procedure with mine, so I can't lose track. So I'm going to start anywhere with single, the corner, come back in, complete your corner. 3 more double crochet. Now, you're going to count not the one that you're in, right next to it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the 4th space, you're going to do your single. So you're going to have your first attachment here. Come back into your square and create your 3 double crochets. This procedure will be done exactly the same amount and count for all the squares. Come back to your back piece, not the one that you're in already, but the next one. 1, 2 on the 3rd space. So the first one you skip 3, you're going to 4th. The second one you skip 2, you're going to 3rd. Okay, then we're going to go back into the 4th space again. So 3 double crochet. There's no chain space in between them. Again, 1, 2, 3 on the 4th. Single. And then we're going to come into the corner and create our corner. 3 double crochet, and now 3 space. 1, 2, and 3 on the 3rd space. You come in. So now you have your second corner created. Okay, so we don't do this one or this one. We only do 3 double crochets here and 3 double crochets here, because at the end we're going to do it all together. Come back in and finish your corner. 3 double crochets, 2 chain separation. Now we do the chain, because we have nothing to be adding on at this point, right? Actually, it's not 2 chains. Sorry, it's 1 chain separation. Well, for some of you that your stitch is too tight, then you do 2. I'm only going to do 1 because this is very thick thread, and so I don't need to do 2. So we're going to create, again, the 3 double crochets here on the side. 1 chain. Next space. 3 double crochets. 1 chain. Coming to the corner, I'm only going to do the 3 double crochets. Remember what I said, the 2 top ones we don't close in the corner. We'll do it at the end when all the granny squares are in. So we only do the attachment corners here. These ones up here, we'll leave it open. Now, this is the fastest way when you have your grannies ready to attach and create. So you have it the right side facing you. You're going to come into the corner and you're going to do exactly the same thing. 3 double crochets only. We're not doing the full corner until we complete all the granny. Now you're coming to the back with back, into the first space here, single, come back and create your 3 double crochets on the granny. And this is perfect without keep cutting threads and keep creating grannies. Okay, so back into the back loop there, into the space, create with a single, come to the front again, create your 3 double crochets, come to the back where you have your space, and now we're in the corner. So we're going to create the 2 bottom corners attached to the pattern, right? So now we have the 3 double crochets from the corner. Exactly where we have the first granny that we closed in, we're coming into the same exact space with this corner. Okay, so I'll give you a glimpse. We're coming in with it in the same space. Okay, create, so you do a single on that same space. Create your 3 double crochets. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to count where we closed in. We're counting 1, 2, 3 on the 4th space. So we're closing in this granny to the pattern. Next space, 3 double crochet on your granny. And again, come to the back to the pattern. And now we're going to do, not counting the one we're busy, 1, 2 on the 3rd space again. Close it in. Come back and do your granny. Very simple, people. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the 4th. Is it the 4th? I hope I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. So we skipped 4, 3, 4, yes. And then come into the corner, create your 3 double crochets. So we're in the corner. Now we're going to count 1, 2, and 3 space. Single. We're going to come back to the corner, complete our corner, and then go up the side. How simple is that? 1 chain separation, come into the side here. Create your 3 double crochets. 1 chain again, come into the next side, next space. And create your 3 double crochets. 1 chain again. Now we're at the corner top. We don't close in the corner. We're only doing 3 double crochets. Okay, and there it is. So you have it attached without taking it down. And of course I have mine here, as you can see. And then at the end we'll close everything together. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Once I pretty much came to the end and finished off all my squares. Now the last 2 squares that I added on, if I was to do skip 4, skip 3, skip 4, skip 3, I wouldn't have the right amount for the last one. It would have been just, you know, a few stitches. It wouldn't have been enough to put another square in. So what I did was, instead of skipping 4 and 3 and 4, I skipped only not skip 3, skip 2 and then put on the third. So the last 2 squares I skip 2 and put on the third, skip 2, put on the third, skip 2, put on the third. And I did that for both squares so I can have the right amount to fit into the last one, which is no different than adding on to the other squares. Just basically you add on to your first square that you put on. So we've come to the end. Now this row is going to be very simple. We have to finish up these squares up top of the granny squares. So we're just going to continue to close that up all the way around. So basically you would just continue from here, one chain. Now obviously because we're closing up, we don't want it to be pulling too much on the square so it doesn't crumple up. So we're doing the 3 double crochets. Here we're going to do 2 chain and then create our 3 double crochets into the next space, because if we only do 1 chain it's going to pull too much together. We don't want to do that. Okay, so 3 double crochets, 2 chain separation, and then into the next square. And we're going to continue to do that all the way around. The corners, we're going to complete the corners that we did not do. So that's pretty simple. So you get to the corner, you complete the corner here. You do your 3 double crochets, 1 chain, and you're going to come right where the third is here, 1 chain, and you're going to come and complete the rest of the 3 double crochets on the other square. So nothing to it, very simple. And then continue on with your 2 chain and into the next square with your 3 double crochets. So we don't want it to pull, so that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so let's just continue to do the whole round and then I'll be back to you at the end. Okay everyone, so I've reached the end of this row and I'm almost on the closing here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to give it 1 chain, I'm going to do a half double crochet here so I can land right in the center, and 2 chain into the next space where I have the double crochet. I'm going to do double crochet. So it's 1 double crochet per space. One in the center here between the squares, and 1 in the center here of the 2 chain, and again double crochet over double crochet, and where we have the 2 chain separation we're doing 2 double crochets, which is in here. So very simple. This row we're going to do this all the way around. Now you can do it over like this, or you can go right inside. It's up to you, whatever one you think is best for you or you think looks nicer. You can go right over or inside of the loops, and then 1 double crochet per space. I'll meet you again here just to clear it to make sure that we got it right. Okay, so we did the last one here again. Just make sure my camera is properly in place. We're going to come inside where we have that 1 chain there. We're coming in between the 2 squares and 1 inside already where the corner I should say, and double crochet over double crochet. So we're going to do this all the way around. and then I'll come back to you again. Okay everyone, so we pretty much reached the end. I've closed in a slip stitch on the third chain that we started the very first one. Now we're going to do one chain and come back into the same space and do a single, second single next space, third single next space, fourth single next space, fifth single, sixth single, seventh, eighth, and 9. So we've closed in with slip stitch. We went up one chain on the same space, single. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 on the fifth one, single, and we're going to continue to do 9 singles. So it's always a repeat now all the way around, and then chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I was almost going into the third space. Okay, so we're going to do a repeat like this all the way around. When we get to the end, if we need to adjust something, we will. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I've done my last 9 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And on my first single, I'm closing in with slip stitch. So my count was perfect. Sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does. Now, if you have too many stitches, just work around it at the end. And if you're too short, then put 2 together in the same space here and there, or at least before the last 2 loops. You know, let's say like here, put 2 together and make your 9 total, you know, and then here the same thing. Mine came out perfect. So I'm happy for that because sometimes that's rare. So close in slip stitch. So we don't count. So we're going to count, let's say, where we closed slip stitch. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to go to the third space. So slip stitch and coming into the third space with a single. Okay, so now we start with a single. Next space, second single, next space, third single, next space, fourth single, and the next space, 5 singles. So we're going to do this row exactly the same way. 5 singles where we have the singles, skipping the 2 first and skipping the 2 last, and coming in where we have the chain and do 9 double crochets. Now, this video definitely will be on part 2 because it's taking too much memory already. So it has to be split into 2 videos. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochet. Remembering that you can use different color here at the end. Because I have so much powering in my colors, I'm not going to use a different color. Maybe the last row, we have 2 more rows after this. And then we're done. Maybe I'll use different color there. So skip 1, 2 on the third single with single. So that's second single, third, fourth, and the 5th single. And we repeat again 9 double crochets inside where we have the 5 chain. So I'll meet you at the end. And I don't know if I'm going to use the same color or change. I have to play with my colors, see if I like it. If I do, then I will use a different color. If I don't, I'll continue with the same one. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 double crochets inside of the 5 chain, and then you skip 1, 2, and you go into the third one, and you start again your 5 singles. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I pretty much finished, as you can see, finished doing the row on that color. So I was putting to the test the brown and I liked it, so I'm going to continue on it. I'm trying to find my scissor here. So what you're going to do is, once you've closed in your last chain and your slip stitch, I'm just going to, so you'd go into, if you're changing color, if not, it doesn't matter, you'd close your slip stitch in, and I'm using the back loop only, but if you want you can use both. Instead of using back, you can use right through it, but I'm going to use back loop only. So I'm going to skip one, and I'm going into the second one with a single. So you would do a single and the second single, and then I'm coming in behind the first double crochet here, so behind, into the front and into the back, and I'm pulling my thread from the back like that, and I'm doing a double crochet, 1 chain into the same space. So now between the first and the second double crochet, I'm coming from the back to the front, into the back, and I'm pulling my thread, and I'm doing the second double crochet, 1 chain separation. Again, the same thing, from the back to the front, into the back, and do your double crochet, 1 chain again, from the back to the front, into the back, right next space, pull through, and I have to do it again because it's pulling my other threads. I'm usually better at this one. I'm doing fast, slow motion. I'm not good at it. So into the back and double crochet, 1 chain again, coming from the back to the front, to the back, pull through, and double crochet. And you're going to do this in all of these double crochets until the very last one. And the last one's here. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're coming in, we're skipping 1, we're coming into the second, I'm using back loop only, and 2 singles. And then we restart again, coming in between the first one here, and doing the first double crochet, 1 chain separation, going into the second double crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way around, and 1 chain separation. And then I'll come back to you on the last row right after this, which is going to be the picots, single picots. Okay, so just continue to do that, and I think this looks beautiful. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I'm pretty much done. This will be the last row we're getting into. Now of course you can choose whatever colors you want to do the edge here. I'm just going to go back into the green because I want the flowers to stay standing out the focus of the rug. So pretty much where you left off, you close in with the slip stitch and did your, just try to see if we can get some lighting here properly. So you'd come in, so we did the 2 singles, right? You close in with slip stitch, so you would go into the next single. With a single. Try to hide my thread. So now I'm going to come into the first space of between the first double crochet and the second. So I did a single. I'm doing 3 chain, coming back in. So this is like a picot without really doing a picot. I'm coming back in. I think it's much easier and faster with a single. Next space, single, 3 chain. So very, very simple. We're going to do this all the way around, and we're pretty much done with this rug. I will have everything in display at the end. So 3 chain single, 3 chain single. So very, very simple, not complicated at all. I'm going to do it until here and then show you again. Hope my lighting is, try to turn it this way, if that will work out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picots. Now where I have my single, I'm going to come into the center here and single, and then come again between the 2 double crochets, single, 3 chain, back in the same space with a single, next space, single, 3 chain, back in the same space, single, next space. So you're going to do 8 picots, but I'm doing these picots with chains instead of closing in on the first picot, right? So this does it for this tutorial. And like I said, the loose ends, sometimes you will get loose ends if you're using thick thread. You can use the transparent hot glue. Just put a little dip on it and just, you know, don't burn your finger, but just pat it a bit. It's going to glue it in, and that will never come apart, which I will be doing to this one. A few of the, see if I can, okay, so anyway, I'll warm it up and then show you how I do mine. Okay, you guys, so as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it properly, the lighting is terrible, but this is like an extension of thread that I had ran out. So what I'm going to do, this is transparent hot glue, and basically I'm just going to pat it, even with the edge of the gun, so you don't get burned. I'm just going to pat it in a little bit and let that settle in a bit, just like that. And like this, we are sure that it's not going to go anywhere. It will be firmly, I'm just compressing it with the hot edge here. And then here you do the same. You just put just a little tiny bit of it and then just compress, spread it out a bit. And this way you're sure that nothing comes apart, you know. So wherever you have like these little loose ends, and now it's cold enough, I can compress it. And then you're sure that none of your stuff is going to come apart. And that goes for, let's say, even on your squares. You might have, you know, when you close off or when you started, you might have a little bit of the thread. So just compress it, just sort of like wet it a bit and compress it with the hot gun, the tip, into place, so you know that nothing's going to come apart. Okay, so thank you so much again. Please give a thumbs up on the video, share with your family and friends, put on Facebook public, and thank you for all your support. And I will see you in the next tutorial. I will have pictures and everything in display. I'm probably going to do a round doily to match my coffee table where I'm going to lay the rug, so you might want to stay tuned for that to match up with the rug, remembering that you can do this as a tablecloth yourself and just keep going up on the rows as big as you'd like. So very simple. Okay, thank you everyone.